Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elle, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite anti-hero heroes in romances. I love a good anti-hero, just somebody who needs to work through their stuff, and they do it with the heroine, and I love seeing that character growth in romances. It is just absolutely amazing. So let's get started with this video. The first romance I'm going to talk about is Mercy by Sarah Kate. I absolutely love this romance. I recently met Sarah Kate at Wild and Windy in Chicago, and it was amazing seeing her, and she was so hilarious because I was like, Mercy is my favorite. And she's like, when people tell me their favorites in the series, it's kind of like a personality type. And she's like, Mercy is my favorite too. I'm like, what? And she's like, I get you, girl. I'm like, okay. So I just love this romance so much. So the hero, in the first book, this is a series. And in the first book, he is the boyfriend of the heroine who gets with her ex-boyfriend's dad, and so he is just like devastated and has a lot of insecurities. And the heroine, she is actually a club owner of the club that his dad works at and owns, like she's part owner, and she's also best friends with him. So they kind of meet randomly because she has never been into the club, and she decides to randomly go on their app where it tells you like what kink you have, and she gets the kink of being like a dominatrix kind of thing. And he goes in the app randomly as well, and he gets the kink of being a sub, and they actually match up on the app, and they kind of start talking. They don't know who the other is, and so they decide to meet in person, and they have a moment until they realize it is the other person, and they're like, holy crap, like we can't do this, we can't go behind my dad's back. But they do anyways, and and it is amazing, and I absolutely love this one. And seeing Bay's just like journey, because he was such a shitty person in the first book, and seeing him finally have that character growth and realize like, I was not a good boyfriend, and I still feel guilty about that to this day. And we really got to see that growth and see him like apologize and have a good relationship with his dad. And we never get to see the other side of what happens with like dad's, ex-boyfriend's dad romances, I feel like, and I just love seeing that. And he and the heroine just had such a beautiful relationship. The spicy scenes were great, and I just love seeing something so unique in a romance. So I love this one, and he has a lot of inner demons that he has to work through, but he does, and I just absolutely love this book. Then I have a lovely chunky romance from Ashley Jade, which is The Words by her. I actually got to meet her as well in Chicago, and she is just absolutely adorable. I loved her so much. So this is a very angsty second chance hate to love romance. So the hero and heroine meet in high school, and the hero is really struggling with English. He is actually dyslexic, and he needs some help, and so the heroine ends up tutoring him, and they kind of start having like a relationship then, and they really start connecting. And he is also starting up a band, kind of writing songs, and she starts help writing songs with him, and it's just really cute and fun until he ends up skyrocketing with his band and kind of leaves her in the dust. And she is still just like angry about that because he kind of betrayed her as well with something else that happened. So now it is years later, and he is in a really dark spot in his life. He is drinking, doing drugs, getting in trouble, just really bad press for the band, but also he is just not doing good as a person like at the moment. And so the band is like, we need to bring someone on as his sobriety companion person, and they reach out to the heroine and are like, we know you don't like him, but he has fired everybody else or slept with them, and we need someone. And she's like, I will do it, because they are going to give her a lot of money for it. And so she does, and they have to see each other again. And it is very dark, well, like dark in the in the sense of like emotionality stuff that they're both dealing with. And I just loved how angsty this was. They both, have been through a lot, and they kind of work through it together, but it's definitely a hard road to get there. And I just love seeing like the hero really struggle, and it is so angsty. Forced proximity, he detests her and she detests him, but they end up having a relationship at the end, and it's just so beautiful. Love this one so much. So good. Then I have Saint by Sierra Simone. This is another favorite. Love this one. So the hero and the other hero were in a relationship, but something happens one night and one of the heroes ends up running away and becoming a monk. And so now it is years later, and the hero that became a monk is just, you know, he has a lot of like inner demons, and this is a series I do recommend reading it in order for it to make sense. And so the other hero comes to the monastery because he is a journalist and he is actually going to be doing a story on the monastery, and sees the other hero, and they have not seen each other in years. He still does not know why the one hero left, and they just kind of rekindle their friendship a little bit. But the one hero who's the journalist, he is actually engaged to somebody else, and so it is just super angsty. They both have to deal with things and, you know, in their past and like thoughts that both of them have had, and it is just such a beautiful, angsty, heartbreaking story about coming back to each other, and it is just beautiful. I don't want to say too much because it's major spoilers, but no, this is an absolutely amazing romance. Deals with some dark topics, but it is incredible. Highly recommend. Also, the audiobooks are amazing. Jacob Morgan narrates it, which is actually the pen name for Zachary Weber. So definitely go read them. Then I have Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. This is a dragon shifter, why choose romance? So the heroine is coming to her first day of college, and she meets one of the heroes, and they instantly kind of form a connection, and he realizes that she is one of them, which is a dragon shifter. And she has no idea about like the magical world and like dragon shifters or any of that stuff. So it's like a whole new world to her, and there are like 4 heroes, I think, and so they kind of bring her in, and she is their mate. And there's lots of different tropes in this one. There's a ton of action because she doesn't know that she's a dragon shifter, and it's really, really fun. So one of the heroes is a billionaire. One of them is actually trying to reject the mate bond. One of them is a professor at the school, like age gap, and it's just a lot of fun. The anti-hero aspect of this is one of the heroes who is rejecting the the mate bond. And it's really, really good. I love this series. It's super action-packed. The audiobooks are incredible. Definitely check it out. Then I had to put Secrets and Masks on here by Emerald Slytherin. This is a Hermione fanfiction. I love this one. So this starts off with Hermione basically being kidnapped while she is at this battle, and she's kidnapped by Draco, and he is the right-hand man of Voldemort, and Voldemort is like, you need to take her prisoner and keep her at your like manor, like the Malfoy, the Malfoy Manor, and they absolutely hate each other. This is a very angsty, slow burn romance, and it is amazing. It is so dark and angsty. It is just epic. I love like the romances. I love just the tropes with Hermione fanfics, just that they are rivals and then they fall for each other, and this one was super slow burn because they hate each other. They're on the opposite sides of this war, and it is just so interesting to see how they finally come together. It is so good. I'm like still obsessed with this. It is so freaking good. If you want an all-consuming love, if you want an all-consuming book that you think about constantly with amazing side characters, some dragon action in it, highly recommend this romance. It is so freaking good. Love it so much. And I have also The Devil of Dublin by B.B. Easton. This one is a really like fun, like second chance kind of romance. So the hero and heroine grew up together in Ireland, and they always kind of had this connection, and the hero grew up like had a bad home life, and now it is years later and she's coming back to Ireland to put her grandfather to rest, and she sees the hero again, and he's actually doing some stuff with like the mafia in Ireland, but she doesn't know that, and she's also in a relationship with someone else, so it's like second chance. It is a darker romance, and there's a lot of action in this one. I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of like Destined Lovers a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. Like there's so much action packed in this one, and I love this one. I know some people don't love it, but I personally really liked it. And there's a lot of like Irish lore in it, which was a lot of fun too. So if you want like a fun, like darker romance with, you know, second chance vibes, like childhood friends to lovers, and they're reuniting with lots of action, I would definitely check this one out. All right, well, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing me chat about some of my favorite anti-hero heroes that just are like dark inside, but the heroine makes them ooey gooey after they like find them. So I love these heroes, and definitely down below let me know your favorite anti-heroes in your favorite romances, because I would love to know. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations, oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you